WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
WSJM News is brought to you by the Town Crier Wire. Download your free local news app today at the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Dave Wolf. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has had a first-hand look at the flooding that hit Metro Detroit over the past weekend. She spoke from a closed-down portion of I-94 yesterday, saying she needs an agreement with the Republicans in the House and the Senate on fixing the state's infrastructure.
Now we are seeing the cost of not fixing it, and it would be overly simplistic to say that we should use one-time dollars because this is an ongoing problem.
The two are far apart, with Whitmer's plan spending a mix of federal and state money at $3.5 billion, and Republicans countering with $1.5 billion, all from the federal government. DTE Energy says flooding at substations is responsible for the power being out in Dearborn for 4 days now. Around 3,000 homes and businesses remain without electricity. Ryan Stowe, DTE's vice president of distribution, says one of the substations was under several feet of water.
The significant rains and flooding that resulted ended up impacting two of our substations in the area, causing some pretty extensive damage. And so that takes a long time to repair that equipment and replace some of the damage.
The utility is working on setting up generators in the affected neighborhoods until repairs can be made. Stowe says he expects most customers to have power restored by later today. Governor Whitmer will welcome President Joe Biden to Michigan on Saturday. The two will visit Traverse City, where they'll be marking and celebrating the progress the country has made so far to battle COVID-19. Biden and Whitmer both wanted at least 70% of people to have at least one vaccination shot by the 4th of July, but will fall short. Voters in Michigan want to keep local control over short-term rental properties. That's one of the results of a statewide survey taken by the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association about rental properties like Airbnbs. The association's John McNamara says respondents also oppose a House bill that would preempt local regulation of those rentals.
There's a bipartisan group of legislators who want to work to get a deal done and get this issue solved for Michigan. But we just believe it needs some more time. So we're hoping to work over the summer to get to a place where, we can strike that balance where people can still have short-term rentals, but there's some parity on the tax and safety side.
McNamara says 82% say that local governments in Michigan are better equipped to protect their neighborhoods from the negative impacts of short-term rentals than the state government. The St. Joseph Public Schools Board of Education has approved a new strategic plan for the 2021-22 school year, centered on equity and inclusion for all students. It's the result of months of work by staff, the administration, families, and the school board. Interim Superintendent Kelly Godesky says the plan stems out of a commitment to ensure that every student is cared for emotionally and academically in St. Joseph Public Schools. This first-year plan is part of a 3 to 5 year framework that will continue to be developed under the direction of incoming Superintendent Jenny Fee. It includes 5 goal areas with commitments under each goal. The goal areas are data collection and analysis, systems of support, framework for learning, communication systems and business services, and partnerships and projects. Southwestern Michigan College has boosted scholarships dramatically for the next year to make higher education more affordable. SMC offered $880,000 in the 2021 budget, hiking that 62% to $1.4 million for 2022. SMC President Joe Oldenwald says by eliminating some college costs made worse by the pandemic, SMC can improve degree attainment and ultimately economic prosperity in the area.
Our overall increase in scholarships for this year over last year, it's 62%, and in real dollars, it's $553,610. So it's a big deal. We're pulling a little more money out of the foundation, and then frankly, we've just budgeted more.
With the SMC guarantee, all new students enrolling in the fall of 2021 receive a scholarship of at least $600. In-district students qualify for at least $1,000. Oldenwald notes with programs like Reconnect Michigan and Futures for Frontliners, it's becoming increasingly easier to go to college. SMC is also increasing its athletics programs to attract more students, something that we'll be hearing more about in the coming months. The next budget for the city of Benton Harbor anticipates a shortfall that will require dipping into the fund balance. During a budget hearing on Monday night, Benton Harbor Finance Director Rhonda Hildebrandt told commissioners, with some income tax revenue lost as a result of COVID, the creation of a new economic and community development department, and increased health insurance expenses, they're looking at a deficit budget. Mayor Marcus Muhammad said, given the last year, he thinks the city is still doing okay.
I think that we are not where we want to be, and I'm speaking for myself, but we are moving in a direction and we have some help to balance things out.
Federal ARPA dollars could compensate for some or all that shortfall. However, Commissioner Sharon Henderson didn't want a deficit budget.
Even though we got the ARPA money, that's great, but that's not a get out of jail free card for overspending.
Henderson said that she would not vote for a deficit budget. The 2021-22 spending plan anticipates about $700,000 more in spending than in revenues. The fund balance, or the city's savings, is more than $4 million. And Watervliet City Manager Tyler Dotson has received a contract extension from the City Commission. The body held a special meeting last week and approved keeping on Dotson for another 3 years. That will take him through July of 2024. Dotson's current contract was set to expire next month. He tells us he's thrilled to be in Watervliet and looks forward to what's coming next. Dotson says he wants to continue helping local businesses develop and improving the downtown. Before joining the city of Watervliet in 2018, he served on the South Haven Board of Education and worked for the DDA in Blissfield. Download the News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM app and listen online anywhere. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Dave Wolf.